If you like this video, why not subscribe?
I do believe that variety adds a certain zest to life. Do you not agree?
Princess Tara, I have never felt more zest than I do at this moment.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Frugal Filmmaker Q&A. That's the show where you write me your questions and I make an attempt to answer them. If you have a question you'd like answered and read on this show, please send it to frugalfilmmaker@gmail.com. That's your best chance to have it read. You can also comment in the comment section below this video or other videos, and I'll try and snag some questions out of that. Or Twitter is also a place you can contact me at Frugal Filmmaker. My video last week was the Many Mics One Location video, which is where I had several mic setups, 9 or 10 I believe, in the same location, so you could kind of get an idea what different mics sound like in the same setting. And I got a lot of good responses from that video, so if you're curious about different audio comparisons, because I had a somewhat expensive microphone, a medium cost microphone, and then a really cheap lav mic that I used on this show all the time. And if you're interested about what audio sounds like in the same situation with these various mics, please check out that video. The first question is from Gmail John, who says, I have a Canon 600D/T3i with a Rode Shotgun video mic with extension cable to allow me to have off-camera sound recording, something that we mentioned in that last video, off-camera sound using a microphone attached to the camera, although John here has it attached to a light stand. He says, I'm happy with the video recording side, but I'm struggling to get decent sound quality. This is particularly evident when recording school plays, or situations where extremes are experienced, such as group singing and then single voice dialogue, loud to quiet, and vice versa. I don't have lots of money to spend, so frugal solutions only. All right, John, we've got an interesting situation here because you are definitely hamstrung by this camera since you're running your sound right into the camera. Number one, I don't believe you have a way to monitor it because I'm sort of familiar with the T2i. I know it doesn't even have a mic or a headphone jack, so you can't monitor your sound, so you don't know when it's going too high or too low. You're just depending on the camera to regulate the volume, and that can be a problem, of course, when everybody starts singing loudly or yelling or whatever, and your sound becomes overly sensitive or clips. So you're going to have some kind of external recording solution. Even if you just use that one mic and run it into an external recorder like a Zoom H1 or a Tascam DR05, that will be a better way to control that sound because you can adjust the levels manually as it's coming in. So you'll know, here comes the song, you can crank the level down so it doesn't blow out your audio. Plus, if you listen to a question later on in this video, I'll show you how you can record a safety track, meaning you can record that one mic normally at its normal level and then have a second track, a stereo track, left channel or whatever your non-normal channel is. You can run it lower, so if the volume goes up too loud, you'll have that safety track you can use in post that won't clip because it's been running lower the whole time. Something else you might want to look into is using a boundary mic instead of the video mic that you've got perched on your camera or on a stand, I think you said. Because boundary mics you can actually park on stage. These little low profile microphones you can put, they're made to be put at the foot of a stage. And they're still kind of omnidirectional. They kind of record everything going on, but at least it's closer to what's going on, and they're kind of hidden on the floor, so they don't stick up like a mic on a stand would if you were trying to record sound with that microphone. So that's my suggestion. Again, anything I'm talking about here, I'm going to provide links below in the description so that you can have a better idea about what I'm talking about. Okay, our next email comes from Martin Zoffinger, Frugal Filmmaker favorite. He says, on my first attempt using the Zoom/Lav combination, I had to put the audio track in Audacity first, change it to stereo by duplicating the track, and then sync it over the video. I got my Lav at Radio Shack, so I assume it's similar to yours. Do you have to alter your Lav's audio to get stereo sound as well? And there's actually, yes, I do actually. There's a couple of ways you can turn your mono channel into stereo. The reason you would want to do this is that in your final product, you don't want to have sound in just one channel, and all these microphones tend to be mono. Some of them are stereo, but 90% of the microphones you're going to encounter or get for dialogue are going to be mono microphones. So you're going to end up with one channel that has the soundtrack and the sound, and the other channel has nothing. So you want to basically create a dual mono soundtrack and to copy that one track onto the other, one channel onto the other. You can do that in your most editors, in fact all editors of any worth will allow you to do this. I just do it in Vegas by right-clicking and going down to channels and then say use only left channel if that's where the sound is, and then it's just one channel for both stereo channels. So it's not really stereo because you're just creating like a dual mono channel, but that's what happens. Or what you can do is while you're recording into your external audio recorder, you can get one of these, and this is a mono to stereo adapter. What this does is when you're recording into your external audio source, which will normally send your microphone to one channel, this will duplicate it right there and send it to both channels simultaneously, so you don't have to do that step in post. All right, next we have some comments from YouTube. The first one is from Skint Sniper 262, who says, I have a question. Say you had a crap ton of money. What is the best high-end shotgun microphone? Well, I don't think I've ever had a crap ton of money. And if I did, I would probably make a movie instead of buying a new mic. I'd probably rent the most expensive mic I could find. But I'm not super familiar about high-end microphones. I know Sennheiser is a good brand. I like my Sennheiser microphone, so I would probably get the top-of-the-line Sennheiser microphone because I like that brand. But I realize you're probably just being sarcastic here. So you'd have to do your research and do your homework. What is the best high-end microphone? Maybe some people can chime in the comments and tell me what is the best high-end microphone man can buy. And then we'll know. Huh?
Man can buy.
Clearly, women do not buy microphones by that comment there. Does that not count either? Women don't fall into mankind? What do you say, person kind? Human race? A human can buy? The best that money can buy. Emery Schley says, Scott, what is going on with all those jump cuts? Well, I've brought this up before. Some people have pointed out that, hey, you're jump cutting a lot in your videos and you've never done that before. Well, the truth is I only do it in the Q&A videos, and that's because I'm usually under a time crunch. And so I don't have any B-roll for this video, so I don't have anything to cut away to, although I could do flash effects or wipes or whatever, but I just do jump cuts. This is sort of a video blogger kind of presentation, and jump cuts are very common. A lot of people don't mind them. They're really standard anymore on YouTube, so I don't mind doing them. I think they're okay. They help me shorten things down to keep my videos under 10 minutes. That's always my goal. So I don't know, does this bother everybody or anybody else besides Emery here that I'm doing jump cuts? In my normal videos that I do during the week, on Thursday or Friday, I don't use jump cuts. I have a very kind of standard production where I'll cut to B-roll, or I will use a flash or a wipe or whatever, so there are no jump cuts. But I will often do them on this show because it speeds up my production so I can get it done faster. Because right now, for example, it's Sunday night and I would like to go to bed, so the jump cuts are necessary and helpful for me to get this done ASAP. Final comment comes from Two Nerds on a Couch, who says, I was wondering what a good, less expensive recorder might be as compared to the H1 Zoom. You know, when I was first looking at getting an external recorder because I really wanted one, this is actually before the Zoom H1 came out. They had the more expensive one, the H4n, which was I think $250, and the Tascam DR05 was $170 to $200 as well. And those are XLR recorders. I just wanted a real basic recorder that I could plug my 1/8" mic into, my unbalanced microphone. And so I was really happy when the Zoom H1 rolled around. But after I got it, I actually did a comparison of a bunch of entry-level recorders, and none of them really were close to the Zoom H1 or the Tascam DR05 in quality, so those are the two I always recommend. The main difference between those two is that the Tascam model has a more robust body, so it could take more abuse, and the H1 is smaller and slimmer, so you could hide it on a person's body if you wanted to use a body mic. Again, on a very entry level, I mean, it's not Hollywood quality sound that I have, but it's decent, and it's good, and it's fairly inexpensive. $100 won't kill you. If you're looking to save money, go on eBay, look for either of those two recorders, see if you can find one for $60 or $70, maybe $50 if you're lucky. But I'd recommend that you go for one of those two recorders because they won't let you down as long as you take care of them. And I had a hard time finding one that was even close to those in a similar price range. And if you're going to go for those dictation recorders that you'll find in department stores or Radio Shack or whatever, they're not made to record dialogue. They're made to record very low-level sound with very minimal quality. You can understand it, but it doesn't really translate well if you're trying to use them in your movies or talking head videos or whatever. So just my 2 cents. That's all the questions I had this week. Remember, if you would like a question read on the show, please send it to thefrugalfilmmaker@gmail.com. I'll be happy to read it and hopefully answer it there as well as on this show if it applies. You can also contact me by making a comment in this video below, or perhaps even on Twitter @FrugalFilmmaker is where you can find me. There'll be another video this week, Thursday or Friday, and we'll see you next week with the Frugal Filmmaker Q&A. Bye-bye.